But if you say, I'm happy to be in this room, now you're talking. Next, there has to be a listener. Here's how you make sure there's a listener. Watch this. Okay, I'm now speaking to Victor, so Victor, I want you to imagine there's no one else in the room. They can hear, but don't you think about them. Okay, where'd you come from today? From Ottawa. Wow. Wow. And how do you feel?
A little tired.
Tired. Okay. Now, I'm a normal speaker, not a great speaker that I am. I'm a normal speaker. And I'm standing way back here. And I look out, I don't see Victor. I see lots of people. And so bad speakers switch to plural. They say, how many of you came from out of town? Put up your hand if you've heard someone say that. Okay, now watch this. How many of you came from out of town? It's stupid. Can you hear that? It doesn't make sense. I can't say to Victor, how many of you came from out of town? It doesn't make any sense. Well, if it doesn't make any sense when he hears how many of you came from out of town, how come it makes sense when he hears how many of you came from out of town? It still doesn't make sense. So what he decides is, the speaker doesn't care about me. The speaker cares about the group. The speaker cares about the masses. I don't count. And when the speaker teaches you that you don't count hundreds of times in 90 minutes, you stand up and you say to your partner, I don't know, I felt like you didn't care about me. And you don't know why, and that's why. So when I stand up, the first word I say in every speech I've ever given and in every audio and video I've ever recorded is, hello. And when I say hello, whether you're listening to a video, listening to an audio driving your car, or sitting in an audience, when I say hello, what immediately happens in your head? What do you think of? Yeah, you imagine that you're saying hello. Even if it's listening in the car, if Raymond's voice says hello, you say, hi. Like, you may not say it out loud. You'd be a bit, off to say it out loud. But put up your hand if in your head you actually say it. Yes. But if I say, ladies and gentlemen, did you just say hello to me? No. Why? Because you, I'll give an example, you are not a ladies. You understand that? She is not a ladies. She's certainly not a gentleman, M-E-N, plural. And she's absolutely not a ladies and gentlemen. She's only one person. And every speaker who gets it wrong says, ladies and gentlemen. Your first thought is, he doesn't care about me. And then they put more feet in their mouth by saying, how is everyone? Now watch this. This is a court of law. You have to give me the legally correct answer. Okay? Okay. How is everyone?
I don't know.
That's the correct answer. I don't know. How do I know? If you're so excited about them, go ask them. What's it got to do with me? See, ladies and gentlemen, he's already half asleep. How is everyone? I don't know. He's 3/4 asleep now. How many of you came from out of town? His thought is, well, he doesn't care about me. He just cares about statistics. But I'll help him out in his stupid survey and put my hand up. He doesn't care about me. Now watch. Hello. And everyone says, hello. Put up your hand if you came from out of town. I did, Raymond. Thanks for asking. How do you feel? Yell it out. Fine, happy. He cares about me. And that's what I do. It's called second person singular. Second person singular. If you remember parsing a verb when you were in school, or if you studied Latin, first person is I, second person is you, third person is he, she, or it. Put up your hand if you remember any of this. And then first person plural is we. Second person plural is you. Third person plural is they. Okay, do you remember any of this? Yeah. So what do I use? Second person singular. I say, how are you? Here's what bad speakers do. By a show of hands, how many of you came from out of town? Now, watch this. First of all, I can't say how many of Victor came from out of town. It doesn't make any sense. But if I was doing a survey and I said, by a show of hands, put your hand up if ABC, and you actually qualified, what would you do? He'd put one hand up. But the speaker said, by a show of hands. Hands is plural. So if the speaker says by a show of hands, is he speaking to you or to the group? To the group. Do you feel connected to the speaker if he's speaking to the group? No. That's kindergarten communication. I actually speak to you. I say, put up your hand if you came from out of town, or if you're tired, or if you wish there was a Starbucks outside. Yeah, me, I wish. Raymond's talking to me. So, the rule for a speaker is, the pronoun for the speaker is I, so that you don't generalize, you actually reveal yourself. And the rule for the listener is second person singular, you. So I would never say something like, how is everyone? And let's say I said, how many of you came from out of town, which would be horrible. And let's say 50 people put their hand up. I would never say, oh, 50% of you. That is so stupid. Excuse me, Michael, which 50% of you is from out of town? Which 50%? There's no such thing. When I say 50% of you are from out of town, you know that I don't care about you. Because there is no 50%. What, that my left foot and my right arm came from out of town? It doesn't make any sense. So the speaker keeps proving to you that he doesn't care about you, that he only cares about the group, about the masses. So the only person who can violate the speaker rule is the Queen. The Queen's allowed to say, we are not amused. And the only person who can violate the listener rule is Elvis, because he's still around. He's the only person. He said at the end of every one of his shows, you've been a great audience. And people loved it. They actually came to hear him say that they'd been a great audience. Well, excuse me. Hi, what's your name?
Elvis.
Yeah, Elvis. Yeah, okay, good. I didn't give you good instructions. I want you to imagine that Elvis actually was right and that you're an audience. Okay. So I want you to reply as if Elvis was right. Hi, who are you? Harry. No. Okay, I'm going to be really clear. If Elvis told you that you're an audience.
I'm a great audience?
Yes, that's right. Okay, good. Hi, who are you?
I'm a great audience.
Do you see? Nobody would, even I told him 3 times to say great audience, and he couldn't because it was so goofy. And yet, that's what Elvis got away with it. If you're the Queen or Elvis, you can ignore my presentation. If you're anywhere south of the Queen or Elvis, you have to follow the rules. So,